I ran across this just a little blurb in the paper regarding what's going on now. So it says here, Trayvon Martin's family has reached a settlement in a wrongful death suit they filed against the Homeowners Association of a subdivision where Martin was killed, the Orlando Sentinel reports. Martin was shot to death just steps away from his father's home on February 26th of 2012 by volunteer neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman. The case drew national attention last year as the Sanford Police Department spoke on these charges, whether charges were filed against Zimmerman, who indicated that he had shot Martin only after being attacked. Zimmerman has been charged with second-degree murder and is currently awaiting trial. Says portions of the settlement released Friday do not specify how much money Martin's family will receive, but according to the Sentinel, the figure is believed to be in excess of $1 million. The settlement does, however, state that Zimmerman is not part of the agreement. Lawyers for Martin's family have made it clear that they still plan to file a civil claim against Zimmerman at a later point. So I just wanted to do a little bit of follow-up to let people know that it didn't just end with him being charged, that they give money to this child's family, even though money does not replace that boy being taken away from his family. Yeah. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that story, but
I'm just glad to hear something happened because, you know, for me, it was what's going on with it because Zimmerman hasn't actually gone to trial yet. Right. And it just seemed like there was a standstill, and it seemed like people just kind of forgot about it. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. I am happy to hear that at least they are receiving something. Right. I do think they need to definitely charge Zimmerman. They need to file charges against him, and I don't care if he goes to jail because this man was receiving money. So even if he goes to jail, he has money. People were giving him money. Supporting him. So let's take that money and support who it should have been going to, which is the parents of the child that was murdered. Right,
right. I really was surprised to see how much support Zimmerman was getting, from the public. Like she said, people was giving him money for lawyers and to defend him, and as if he was the victim in this situation.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but I think just as many people who were upset that a young black child was shot in that situation, there was just a lot of as many people who was okay with that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like we were, and I think a lot of people even looked at it as, why are we so worried about it? You're doing all of this for that family, and that boy had a hoodie on, and because the stereotype is that, if a young black person or even a black person at all is wearing a hoodie, they're suspicious and there's something wrong. And he was self-defense. This whole self-defense thing, to me, is just crazy. And I think a lot of people just supported them simply because they wanted to be on the other side. They were just happy that one black child was dead.
Isn't that so sad?
That's really sad.
And it's funny how so many people rally against what was the football player that was fighting the dogs or whatever?
Michael Vick.
I mean, people were having fits.
They took his jersey off the stores and everything else.
Yeah.
Because
about some dogs.
Yeah.
But let a black child get killed, and
because to some people, a black young male
is worth less than an animal.
Exactly.
That's sad. That is really, really sad.
That's really sad, but it's true. A polar bear that we're never going to actually see here unless you go to somebody's zoo. Right. Is worth more. We're going to always save the bears. We're going to save the wild kingdom. Yeah. But we don't save our children that are right here. That's
right. Right.
Yeah.
They got a fund for everything on the planet. Save the saber-toothed tiger's skeleton, everything. But let one of our children get shot down in the streets like an animal.
Exactly.
And, that's okay. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Our phone number is at the bottom of the screen. Please give us a call because I want to hear your thoughts I'm gonna get off my soapbox now because because I'm really feeling deeply about this topic. I'm gonna let Kenya take it away with her first story.
Well, if you felt deeply about that, I wonder how you're gonna feel about this one, because it actually leads you right into mine. There's a song out with Brad Paisley and LL Cool J.
Okay.
Accidental Racist.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard? You heard about it though?
No.
Now, the news stations from ABC, CNN, the gossip, the TMZs, everybody has been buzzing this week about a song featuring country artist Brad Paisley, very well known, very established, not someone new, which to me was key. This is not somebody who needs to get their name out. This is someone who's been in the industry for years, because I'm a country fan, so I know.
Okay.
And then LL Cool J, who we all know started in the 80s.
I've been loving LL for years.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, they have a new song, and it's called Accidental Racist. The song was supposedly intended to start a conversation about ending the idea of racism and moving forward since, and this is a quote from one of the lyrics,
okay,
ain't like you or me can rewrite history. Ain't like we can rewrite history, basically. And I don't normally hop on the negative bandwagons when you hear stuff. I really try to give it some type of... I try to listen to it and have an open mind. But I will say that when I heard the poor taste is like the best thing you can say about this song. I'm not going to read all of the lyrics, but there were 2 lyrics that really stuck out to me, because to me the song, Brad Paisley talks about it, and it's basically Brad Paisley saying, look, I'm a country guy. I'm from the South. I love my Southern roots. Leave me alone.
Okay, give me some lyrics. Let me see what I think.
This was one of the lyrics. When I put on my t-shirt, the only thing I meant to say is that I'm a Skinner fan. The red flag on my chest somehow is like an elephant in the corner of the South. Now, you're probably not a country fan. So let me kind of break this down for the audience who are not country fans. Leonard Skinner is actually a country group. Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the idea that that's a racist group, though? No. That's supposedly a racist group, and I like Leonard Skinner, so I'm not gonna again hop on the bandwagon. But their Sweet Home Alabama song, there are a few lyrics that people kind of listen to, and they were like, okay, what's going on with this? If you really listen to the song, there's a part of the song, and it talks about Birmingham, and Birmingham, of course, at that time was activism, the civil rights movement, and all of this other stuff. And so a lot of people heard the song and kind of looked at it as they were saying, keep segregation, you know, taking it way left. I haven't heard all of their songs, because as much as I'm a country fan, I'm not going to go back to the 60s and the 70s to listen to country music. But Leonard Skinner is one of those groups where I like I told you, I dated a white guy. And I remember, you know, like singing Sweet Home Alabama, and I was like, I like that group.
like that song.
I love the song. But I remember my boyfriend saying, and he was like, if you listen to their lyrics, you won't like it so much. Okay. Now, when I Googled them, because I wanted to, you know, I really wanted to come out here and be able to tell you, the only thing I really could see was like a few lyrics from Sweet Home Alabama where, you know, it's kind of like, okay, they were kind of seeming like a real country boys, and that's how I'm going to put it. But I'm not going to say they're a racist group, because I couldn't find anything else. But that's why he references Leonard Skinner, though. Okay. Because a lot of people see that Leonard Skinner sign, and it's like, Okay. And then the flag on his chest, of course, he's not talking about the American flag. We're not talking about our 50 states. So you're talking about your Confederate flag. Right. And again, I'm American. My flag is not the Confederate flag. The last time I checked, that wasn't the American flag. Right. So to me, why do you wear that? To me, if a German came in with a swastika, right, we know what that means. We would be like, oh my God, the world would be in an uproar. If a band came out of Germany and all of them wore swastikas, everybody would have a fit, because oh my God, they're disrespectful to Jews and the Holocaust and everything else. To me, that's the same as the Confederate flag.
So are you saying that LL is supporting this?
No, well, LL's lyrics is kind of like, he says something about, you know, just because my pants are saggy doesn't mean, you know, I'm bad. And just because if you don't look at me differently because of all of my gold. I won't look at you differently because of your flag. And so he's kind of like, you know, just, you know, accept me and I'll accept you.
Okay.
But my thing is, I'm not accepting the Confederate flag. They lost the war. When you lose a war, you keep it moving. Like I said, we can't be waving.
You surrender your flag when you lose
normally,
the war.
You should. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And just like we can't, and to me, it's such a correlation between the Holocaust and slavery, besides the fact that the slavery went on for hundreds of years.
Right.
But they always want us to sweep it under the rug. However, you know, there are certain things you can't do in America. When, what is his name? The guy went on his little rant about the Jews. Mm-hmm. Everybody was in an uproar.
The guy on the radio?
No, the actor. I can't think of his name, but he anytime anybody says something that's anti-Semitic against the Jews, it's, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. And the Holocaust is this remembered, and I think it should be. I think it absolutely should be, just like slavery should be. Yes, we need to remember it because it happened. And yes, it's still going on. Just like they're trying. And I feel like my thing with this song is, even to LL, we can't forget something that's still happening.
Right.
Just because they're not tying us up, they're not hanging us, does not mean the chain has honestly been broken. They're still disenfranchising us with the voting. They're still, you know, we still have the frisk, what is it called? New York still has the stop and frisk law, which to me is just another way of slavery. If I'm walking down the street, I'm not doing anything, I have nothing to do, a policeman can walk up on me,
and
stop
pat you
me,
down,
tell me to empty, you know, that's still to me slavery. Arizona still was trying to make the Latinos do basically a stop and frisk, but for them it was stop and show your citizenship. Just walking down the street, they actually had what they considered the show me your papers law, which basically meant that, you know, a Hispanic person could be walking down the street doing absolutely nothing, minding his own business, and a police officer could walk up on them and make them show
their green card.
Their green card. Oh, not even necessarily a green card, Social Security card, because every Hispanic person is not. Some of them actually were born here. Amazingly enough, people seem to forget that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it's just, to me, there's still slavery. There's still a mentality, and there's still all of that going on. So to me, the song is very much in poor taste, first of all. Second of all, when I listened to it, I heard, I am so proud of my Southern roots. And that's fine. But the last time I checked, the Indians were born here. So your great-great-great-great-grandparents weren't born here.
I'm going to have to check out this song for myself because I can see you feeling something about this song. To listen to the song, is it like hidden or is it it's blatant?
The song is called Accidental Racist. It's supposed to be in your face blatant.
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of the song. And the lyrics to me, and it's supposed to be a song, honestly, about, you know, just kind of get over it. We can't change the past. Let's move on. And that's great in theory. But
it's still happening.
It's still happening.
Yeah.
You know, so to say pretty much get over it, I'm a Southern boy, I'm going to be a Southern boy, I'm going to continue to wave my flag, and I'm going to continue. What is it that you're proud of? That you had those slaves picking your cotton? I mean, honestly, when people, and that's what I want to know, when people say I'm so proud of my Confederate flag, what part of that Confederate flag? Because you're not saying I'm proud to be an American. See, now you're segregating yourself to I'm proud to be a Southern person. And what part of that are you proud of?
Okay. I understand exactly where you're coming from. However, and I'm born and raised right here, but I still consider myself a Southern girl. And I'm proud to be a Southern girl.
Are you going to have your Confederate flag on your chest?
No, I don't have no Confederate flag nowhere near me.
And see, to me, when you take it there, you're saying something different.
Right.
When you take it to, I'm proud to wear this Confederate flag on my chest.
Yeah, that's a different
We're not
thing.
saying I'm proud to be a good old boy.
Yeah.
You know, we're not saying I'm proud of my, you know, because it is a stereotypical when you have a person from the South.
Right.
They're friendlier, they're kinder,
Yes.
they're more respectful. So
Right.
I understand that. But when you take it to, I'm proud to wear, see, now you're taking it back to slavery.
Yeah, right.
That's where you're taking it to, but I can't go there.
Right. Exactly.
And that's the part I don't understand. You're saying I'm proud to be a Confederate.
Right.
But I can't go into slavery. Like I can't, my mind can't automatically go back to slavery.
No. Okay. Okay.
You can't have it both ways.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay, there is the number on the screen. Give us a call. Tell us what you think. How do you feel about that? Are you proud of your Southern roots? How do you feel about someone who displays the Confederate flag? Because in my neighborhood, and I live in Ettrick, there are still many houses that proudly display that Confederate flag all over the place, on their trucks, on their house, you know, in the windows and everything. So how do you guys feel about that?
And I would love for someone who has that Confederate flag, because maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I want you to explain to me why you're so proud of that flag, not the American flag.
Right.
Because I can see, you know, the American flag, and this is where you're born, and we've come so far, we've done so much. But that Confederate flag to me
means something else.
Means something so much different.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
We let Betsy Ross make the the new flag. Can we support the new flag?
Right.
You know, even take it back to that one.
Right.
But the Confederate flag, when you say you're so proud of, it bothered me. When I listened to it, I was like, oh. And then there's another one that says, our generation didn't start the nation, and we're still paying for mistakes that a bunch of folks made long before us, and caught between the Southern pride and Southern blame. Shouldn't we blame the South for that? I mean, at some point in time, the Northern states realized they could make money in a different fashion.
Right.
The Southern states didn't want to give that up. So why can't we blame them for wanting to continue to make us slaves? And even after Abraham Lincoln freed us,
right,
we still had to have a civil rights movement
right,
to actually become free.
Yeah, to enforce it.
The little freedom we have.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't I blame you for that?
Right. Okay.
You know, I don't. And I'm from the South, born and raised, and I love being a Southern girl.
Right.
I don't even really want to move to the North, because I'm not, you know,
Mm-mm.
I've lived in the city and it's nice, but, you know, but absolutely, when I look at you with that flag, and I'm going to look at you sideways.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And no, I'm not sorry.
Let's keep it real. She's not sorry.
No, I'm not. And I am going to look at you differently, just as if, you know, I come in and if I'm wearing, I'm sure if I go to his hometown, wherever that may be, Brad, and I'm wearing a Black Power shirt, mm-hmm. and I walk around with my afro, mm-hmm. I'm sure he's going to look at me different. They're going to look at me different. And that's what it's going to be.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Not even black. I want a Black Panther shirt. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if I come into Brad Paisley's area and I'm wearing a Black Panther shirt with my afro, mm-hmm. and some big African Boombata earrings, mm-hmm. he's going to look at me some type of way.
Well, we got somebody who wants to give a little input, so let's hear what they have to say. Thank you for calling. You are on the couch with Kimberly. Can you turn your television down for me just a little bit, please?
Is that better?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Kenya, I agree with everything you said. I'm from Philly. And the only time I seen a Confederate flag was on Duke of Hazards. Until I moved down here. Mm-hmm. They're everywhere. Mm-hmm. They can't give it up. I never heard of people losing the war and celebrating that they lost the war.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Okay.
And that's the thing. You know, they lost the war. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure if, you know, after the Vietnam War and all of those Americans died and, you know, it was such a long, hard war. Mm-hmm. If I walked through the streets waving my Vietnamese flag,
right,
I'm sure somebody would come down and, you know, I wouldn't be here today because the thing is, there was so much hurt and pain that went into that. Why would you keep bringing that up? Especially when, and now if they had won and that was the American flag, now I would just have to bow down and salute the Confederate flag, but it absolutely is not.
Right.
And it needs to be discontinued. We should be able to burn it because it's not the American flag. And
I agree. I agree. Matter of fact, those I stay away from those houses because they scare me.
I completely understand. Yeah, and it does. And that's the thing. They're so. It's such to me a big correlation. So every time I hear someone say that we just need to forget about it and stop blaming people, but you know, the Holocaust is something that we can't mention that. Mm-hmm. You can't be anti-Semitic. It's like being, you know, it was like being anti-Semitic in America is like when George Bush was president and you couldn't say anything against George Bush or you weren't American.
Right.
But I'm supposed to be okay with you proudly displaying this flag that only was about money. Because slavery wasn't about keeping slaves. Right. It was about keeping money in your pocket.
Right.
You just didn't care that you were, you know,
selling human beings, their children,
right. You know, a whole society lost.
Right.
A lot of people don't know what their heritage is. And that's what bothers me. A lot of Caucasian Americans can trace their heritage, but because you took that from us, we can't even trace our heritage.
That is so true.
Yes.
That is so true. Oh, hold on 1 second. Thank you for calling. You're on the couch with Kimberly.
Well, good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Y'all are looking very nice today.
Thank you.
What I was listening to the young lady talking about the Confederate flag. Matter of fact, today I work in the West End, and you know they have the Confederate flag on display right in front of the Virginia Museum. This group. Okay, now today when I was coming down, I believe it was Grove Avenue. They said honk if you like this flag.
That's right here.
In other words, honk your horn. And I look, you know, I said they must be out of that ticket mind if they think I'm gonna honk. Now, this is another point you were saying. Now we live in the seat of the Confederacy because this was the capital of the Confederate, Richmond. But would you like to know that we are still, even though they don't want to leave alone, do you know that we are still paying for Confederacy?
Yeah.
Well, we paying in all kind of ways, to be honest with you.
No, what I'm saying, do you know that we are still actively as citizens, black people, African American, whatever they want to call us, we are still paying for the Confederacy. When you go up and down Monument Avenue, what do you see?
All those Confederate statues.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, do you not know our tax dollars pays for that?
Yes, absolutely.
And you're so right, because I've seen that. My son goes to school over there, and they stand out all the time waving their flags, and it's just okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're still paying for that. And when former Councilman Richardson tried to get Arthur Ashe, who was from this town,
right,
and who grew up in segregated Richmond. Okay, my father won. My father was born in the 20s. Okay, my father just missed. He could have been city junior champ in tennis. Okay, never got. But you know, during that time, never got opportunity. Now there's another man you've heard about. He plays football. Willie Lanier. He's a Hall of Famer. Played for the Kansas City Chiefs. His father was, you know, on the golf course a caddy, right? His father, I hate talking about Tiger. He's like he said, Tiger Woods. His father was a Tiger Woods before Tiger Woods was even thought of being born.
Right.
But there again, we live here. We're in 2013, and as his sister was saying, we are still having this same conversation about discrimination, racism. They don't want to give it up.
They don't. They
don't want that. I believe, you know, now you may laugh at me when I say this. I have a radio program, and
And I use a statement a lot of people try to get it, but they can't. I say cotton picking, tarnation, blue blazes. And the reason I say that is a comedic term. It's a respect to my ancestors because they picked all of the cotton so that I wouldn't have to, you and I wouldn't have to pick it.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You and I, so when I say it, some people think that I'm, giving reverence to our ancestors as being working in the field. No, I'm giving reverence to them because they picked cotton so that I wouldn't have to pick it.
Exactly.
That's right.
And because of them, we are still here. If they hadn't taken the mess and all the evil that they took, we wouldn't be here tonight.
Exactly.
That's right. Thank you.
And a lot of people need to realize. So if you ladies ever listen to WCLM 1450 AM, tune me in sometime. We play the classic soul from 1 to 4 on Saturdays and from 6 to 11 on Monday nights. They call me the Mystery Man.
All right.
I'm going to have to start
Good night.
listening.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good
night.
Bye-bye.
I agree so much.
Yes.
Wow, he was right on point.
Exactly.
And one time they had something in the news about like people defacing some of those statues and all the money that it takes to restore those statues.
And they're going to restore
them. And
them.
they restore them every time. You can put a mark on one of them if you want to.
And the next day.
They will clean them bad boys right on up.
It takes years to get a street redone.
Yeah.
A pothole can be in front of your house for 2-3 years until somebody blow a tire. But something happened to
You can blow a tire, you can tear out the bottom of your car, and that hole still won't get fixed.
And then the idea of it's so long ago. People look at that like it's so long ago, but
and it's not.
But it's not because I can tell you I have relatives because my family is from Sussex country, and when you get into those country areas, we're not talking about years, we're not talking about 50, 60 years ago. We're talking about, we're not talking about 100 years ago. We're talking 50, 60. You know, my father can tell you when he was a teenager, he picked cotton.
Right.
I have an aunt who's old enough that I've heard her say the word colored.
Right.
In my generation, and I remember the first time I heard her say it, and I kind of looked at her because, I was from a city-er part. I'm not going to say a city part, but a city-er part. And she said, colored, and I looked at her.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? So we're not talking about and even now still, if you go to places like Mississippi and, Alabama, if you get out of those city areas, you're going to be traveling back 30 years.
Yes.
So don't think about the major cities. Think about those sideline places. Even in Maryland, think about those side areas because I've lived in Maryland.
Me too.
And I'm telling you, I've driven places that scared me to drive through because, I'm driving through and I'm the only black person in the car and everybody's kind of slowing down and looking at me.
Honey, I lived in one of those neighborhoods. And so, my child had to go to one of those schools.
Yeah.
And it was nothing nice.
Me more than
it was nothing nice either.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories. Yeah. So when people say get over it, what are we getting over? You can't get over something that's still being done to you.
Today. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's what makes me so angry about the song. And I understand the idea and the concept, and that's great. And if, we didn't still have.
Well, I think there has to be a start. Somebody has to start somewhere, a healing process, trying to.
Have you ever been in a relationship and your boyfriend told you get over it? Are you healing?
No.
You can't heal from get over it.
No, you can't heal from get over it.
And that's pretty much what this song is saying. Get over it. I didn't do it. You didn't do it. I can't change it. So move on. And that's not how we're going to heal.
No, definitely
not. That's not how we're going to heal. There were so many different ways. And then to call the song accidental racist, it's not accident
about that.
Yeah, you can't be. There's a lot of white people that are not racist.
Yeah.
So how is yours accidental?
No. I can't get with the accidental racist.
Yeah, accidental racist.
There's nothing accidental about that. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this Confederate flag offended you. Because that's pretty much to me what accidental is. It was unintentional.
Yeah.
I'm not intentionally wearing this flag that,
offends you.
Pretty much means, thank you for slavery.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, give us a call. Give us your opinions and thoughts on it, because I know there are a lot of thoughts on this topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have more on that story?
I have actually, because I know our viewers, I had to go there, and I'm sorry, but I had to talk about it on our last show. But I did want to give you guys a happy Philly.
Yay.
A Kimberly moment.
A Kimberly moment. Okay.
And it's actually one that I've been meaning to talk about for a few weeks, and it slips my mind every time. It's actually Derrick Rose, who is a Chicago Bulls player.
Okay.
And he does a lot of stuff and doesn't talk about it. Now, the most recent thing he did was back in March. There was a 6-month-old girl who died after being shot 5 times in Chicago. Oh, the telephone.
Okay. We're going to pick up that story in 1 second, okay? Thank you for calling. You're on the couch with Kimberly.
Yes, good evening. How y'all ladies doing
Good
today?
evening.
You know, what I can never understand, it boggles my mind how they can glorify the Confederate flag and what it means. I would be ashamed.
Exactly.
You know, this is what it just, you know, I try to understand how they could just glorify. You know, we got that Confederate museum down there, and, you know, they make up the movies, and, oh, he was a great person, and all this stuff. You know, I just can't understand it. I mean, I would be so ashamed. And it's like, you know, like when you're kids, when you're children, and you make up lies to convince yourself you know, that, you know, it's like, I didn't do that, Mommy.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like they turn a lie into a truth, and you see it every day.
Well, I guess if you repeat the lie to yourself enough times, you kind of start to believe it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In the name of God also.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You as well.
All right.
Bye-bye.
And I like what she said. They make all these movies. And when they make those Civil War movies, I love how they gloss over the slavery part. You don't really see any black people, like we didn't exist, had nothing to do with us. I don't like those movies either. I'm trying to get happy.
Okay. We're gonna try to get happy. Go ahead.
All right, now again, the 6-month-old died after being shot 5 times in Chicago on Monday afternoon, and this was back in March. We're calling in, see?
They want to talk about this. Hold on. Thank you for calling. You're on the couch with Kimberly.
I am so sorry to disturb her getting ready to read it, but I have to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Don't forget to honk if you love that flag. and this is what I forgot to say. Can you give a little history on the Virginia song? Turn me back to old Docky, old Virginia. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
The state song.
Yes.
Of Virginia.
Is that still a state song?
It's still the state song.
Oh, that come now. You know good well it is.
Well, you don't hear nobody talk about it no more. I mean,
I'm sure they sing it in some places.
But you know, they only want you to just remember Virginia is for lovers. I want to hear what she got to say.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
He said Virginia is for lovers.
Yeah.
But that's what they want you to remember. But
And I'm sure some schools that's still singing it, just not the ones that we go to.
right.
You know.
All right, we try to change the mood a little bit. All right, so let's see what's going on.
Okay, well, Derrick Rose, the child got shot, reportedly standing on the curb. The father was changing her diaper and in the front seat of a minivan, and basically they killed her. And with Chicago, I don't know if people really realize it, but there have been, there were 500 deaths already, 500 homicides this year alone. And it's just a horrifying situation. He actually came in and without going to the media, without doing anything else, he offered to pay for the funeral for the family.
I did hear about that.
But this isn't his first time.
Okay.
And that's what people don't realize. He does a lot of things. Last year, there was an incident. And again, he didn't come forward. He didn't say anything. It's the family members and the pastor and everyone else who talks about it. Rose was also said to have paid for the funeral of a slain rapper, Little JoJo, who was shot and killed while riding his bike last September. The 18-year-old rapper, whose name was Joseph Coleman, grew up in Inglewood, the same neighborhood on the south side of Chicago where Rose was raised. And they said that he does a lot of different things, and he's not one of those that are just running to the media to report it or doing it because, you know, there are a lot of people who are, you know, Michael Vick, and I love Michael Vick, but, you know, he's doing a lot of charitable things with animals now because of the dogfighting situation.
Right.
Absolutely good PR. Derrick Rose is not doing this for good PR. He's doing it from his heart.
Right.
And I absolutely love this story, especially when I heard that it's not the first time. Maybe not even the second time, but definitely not the first time.
Right.
And I love it. It's nice to see. And he did a little interview off topic, something else. And he was just saying that, you know, he was blessed. He had a hard, you know, time growing up in a rough neighborhood. And he was just happy and thankful to God that he can give back. Mm-hmm. And just to hear someone who's so humble, because you hear so many negative stories. So I just wanted to say hats off. Absolutely. I hope God continues to bless you, Derrick Rose, and you continue to be a shining light to other people.
I love that story. That is beautiful. It is. And I had actually heard about him paying for that.
Yes.
Did not know that was not the first time.
And
he
me
had
either.
done that type of
when
thing.
I looked it up, I was like, wow.
So he's just a genuinely good person.
Aww. I'm single.
Me too. Look, I heard
you might not be. If you're not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're not, because you know we don't do that.
No, we don't do that.
But if you are,
send your
we
brother
got some
or
nice
your
Southern Virginia girls. Nice Southern girls.
Right. Okay. Well, we're gonna talk a little bit about relationships, but this story about relationships has a little bit of a spin to it. So, we're gonna talk about a marriage bureau for elderly people. Okay. My mom and I were having a conversation, and she said, well, wouldn't it be interesting to talk about relationships for older people, for, you know, maybe senior people, because a lot of them are single because their spouses have maybe passed away, and now they are alone, and maybe they're not necessarily looking for marriage. Maybe they're not even looking for a relationship as far as what you and I may think of when we think of a relationship. But she was saying just sometimes you just want companionship.
Exactly, yeah.
Somebody sit on the front porch and drink some lemonade or something, you know.
That Southern girl coming out again.
That's the Southern girl. That's me. So I found a story that kind of talked about older people in relationships. It says the city's first matchmaking bureau, and that's not here, might I add. Matchmaking bureau exclusively for seniors will be launched on Thursday, called Silver Innings Matrimonial and Companionship. It is open to people aged 50 and older for an annual subscription fee of $1,200. The idea of the bureau stemmed from the success of last Sunday's speed dating meet for senior citizens, aimed at helping them find live-in partners or spouses. Of the 282 people who participated, 6 have now found potential partners and are pursuing relationships.
That's nice.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
It says another couple is considering marriage and 4 other couples are now dating. So where is this? It doesn't tell what city. Nope, it doesn't tell what city this is in. So I guess I'll have to do a little more research to find out where this was located. But at least somebody had the idea of finding, matching up older people. And you see shows all the time that are dedicated to finding love for younger folks or people in our age range, but never for senior citizens. So I thought that would be a good thing to talk about. If some of you out there might be fall into that category, maybe over the age of 50 and you're single, give us a call and tell us what you think. Is it hard? Is it harder? I would think it would be tougher for someone older to find a relationship.
See, I don't know, because to me, once you know you're looking, Lord forgive me.
Go ahead and say it, can you?
All the old people go to the same places. So you're going to the adult, the day services. You're going to church. All y'all in the same place. All you got to do is know you're looking. All y'all can hook up.
Somebody wants to talk about it. Let's see. Thank you for calling. You're on the couch with Kimberly.
Yes, I'm enjoying you.
Thank you so much.
I have a relationship. I'm 61 and I have a friend that's 31.
Okay.
Okay, Daddy.
But she's young, but she's old.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
yeah.
Yes, I do. Sure do.
She's real old. I've never met nobody like it. She's just a young girl, but she real old. She old as I am.
You're probably a little younger than you think you are.
Yeah. You probably a little younger than you think you are, Kenya said.
Well, I never did. I don't think old. I got a lot of guys my age. They act like old men. And I still dress sharp.
Okay.
I'm clean. I keep me money. And I go to church. And I'm about something.
Yeah,
all right.
And that's good. Sometimes maybe we need older men to. I need you to teach some of these younger ones to be about something.
Well, but explain this to me. I got a question. You all younger.
Okay.
She don't like to wear. She'll wear a dress, but she'll just wear it to church. And what I've done is, I don't try to put her in an image. She likes to wear pants, and she's not a dresser, but she's fine. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sure do.
But I'm from the old school. I don't try to make her into an image. I just accept her the way she is.
That's right.
A lot of old guys my age, they try to. You can't form a person. You have to accept them how they are.
That is true. That is true.
And what attracted me to her was her. You can have pearls and not have principles.
Exactly.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
Have you tried buying her the dresses?
Yeah.
And
you know what? I'm working on that now. You must have read my mind.
see, great minds think alike.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that.
But you're gonna have to start her off slow. If she doesn't.
Yeah. Start her off slow now. Don't try to
No, I'm
do
not.
too much.
I'm not. That's why I'm. You're right.
Yeah.
Start her off with like some sundresses.
Some
and
little
stuff like that.
sundresses is getting warm outside now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladies, women our age like to wear dresses because we want to show off our little legs.
I got mine on today.
See, Kenya's showing off hers today.
I've been wearing it all week. Lord, thank you for the sun. I got a closet full of them.
Both of y'all are fine.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, but I enjoy y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
I like that. Daddy said he got that.
He got it.
Yeah, he trying to make her younger. Tell her to put a dress on. Tell her to put a dress on. Tell her come to my house. I'll teach her. We'll be wearing dresses every day.
Well, look, I stopped wearing my dresses. My mama told me because I was showing too much leg on the stage when we was on the couch with Kimberly. So I decided to put some pants on.
Girl, I was not supposed to be wearing this today, but the sun got me. You see me over here tight, like the grandma squat right now. Because, you do have to make sure you
sit
still
like
a lady.
That's right.
I got the grandma, the church pew.
You got to sit like a lady.
Yeah.
But, I love my dresses. I sure do. I got a real cute little one now that I'm dying to wear. I just can't wear it to work, but wait till Saturday to get here.
I know that's right, Kimberly. I love this idea. I don't love the fact that they're charging those people so much money.
$1,200, I know, right?
I absolutely don't like that because that is way too much money when you're talking about elderly. Not everyone has it. People falling into the donut hole when it comes to Medicare. And you know what I'm saying? So I don't like that.
But the idea behind it.
But hold up, Kimberly.
What?
You said speed dating with the old folks.
Speed dating, yeah. Girl, speed dating is the thing.
But and I'm sorry, again, I'm just thinking about my grandma trying to do a 10-second, 20-second.
No, speed dating is normally like 5 minutes, but they gonna have to give the older people at least 15. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. So your speed dating ain't too speedy. It takes you 10 minutes to walk over to the next table. Lord forgive me, everybody. Look, I'm sorry. I know. Look, the caller gonna call back in and say he's 61 and he don't need no help getting to the next table.
I know that's right.
I'm sorry, but when she said that, it took all my strength not to laugh with the speed dating.
Well, I'm gonna let me tell them, because everybody may not be familiar.
That's right.
With how a speed dating event takes place. Have you ever been to one?
I haven't. I've seen it on TV.
I've been to two. Okay, so let me tell you.
And she didn't take me.
All right. So what happens is the women are usually sitting at a table, and it's normally 5 or 6 minutes per date, speed date. And when the person that's hosting rings a little bell or buzzes or whatever, then the guys get up and rotate to the next table. And so during that 5 or 6 minutes or however long, it's usually a really short period of time, you get to introduce yourself, you get to tell them a little bit briefly about yourself. And within that 5 or 6 minutes, because the premise behind that is you kind of know if you like somebody within the first few minutes of conversation. And I know that's true for me, because I can tell real quick.
I think we should, anybody listening, watching, if you're doing speed dating, make sure you find me somehow and invite me. I would love to do it. I'm single.
I know somebody. I got you, girl. I got you.
I'm
I know a girl who does events. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But for seniors, it would have to be probably longer than just the normal 5-6 minute.
What you say?
Yeah. Well, everybody not like that. Come on now. We talk about people 50 and over.
Listen, I know, and I'm so sorry.
So she better behave herself.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. And see, I have to remember that I'm talking to somebody who is probably at least 12 years younger than me.
Absolutely not. Not 12. No, ma'am.
No, okay.
No, look, I walked into the studio today. He almost greeted me like I was a new person, told me I look like a little girl today. I am still a 33 and May-year-old woman.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Well, I had no idea.
33. I'm already claiming it because that's just a couple of months. So when people ask me now, I just said 33. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do when May hit, and they're going to be like, oh, it's your birthday. You 34? No, I'm 33. 33.
Well, she bumping hers up, and I be bumping mine backwards.
Listen, I can't go backwards. My son keep going up, and I can't go back and back.
I know, girl. I know. All right, well, let's see what else we got. This talks about marriage too, but now this is, I guess, talking about people like more so in our range. Even though I still got you by 10, okay?
Look, she just likes to act to say she older so everybody can say how good she look. She probably is really only about 38. It's okay.
Don't believe her. Don't believe her. Okay, it talks. Let's see who's calling. What happened? They called and hung up. All right, call us back. I'm sorry I lost you. What percentage of marriages end in divorce?
50.
Well, you are pretty much right on target.
60.
In the United States, researchers estimate between 40 and 50. No, these must be old rates, because I know it's higher than that now.
I know.
Of all first marriages will end in divorce or permanent separation. The risk of divorce is even higher for second marriages. Oh, I did not know that. About 60%. Now, I would think you didn't learn something with the first one.
Exactly.
You might know a little better.
So what about the third one? So if you're getting divorced twice, is it that we just not remarrying, or are we good by the time we hit the third one?
By the third one, if you ain't learned by then, ain't no hope for you. You just gonna stay single, okay? No, let me stop, because I got an auntie that, okay. Utah's divorce rate is just slightly above the national average. Divorce has always been present in American society. Although divorce has always been a concern, it has become more common in the last 50 years. The highest divorce rates were recorded in the 70s and the early 1980s. Since then, the divorce rate has actually decreased a little. Wow. But it still remains at a historically high rate. Well, I'm surprised to hear that it has decreased.
I'm not. For two reasons.
Go ahead.
First of all, I feel like people don't marry as often as they used to.
True.
You know, it used to be if you got pregnant, you got married.
Right.
I think, and then you have to remember the 70s and 80s is when we had that whole lot of money, free love. You had, what was the movie where the parents got divorced and a little kid wanted to. So at that time, America was going through a phase where divorce was more acceptable.
Right.
So more people got divorced because
Right.
it was acceptable. That's what you did. You know, and there was a lot of money flowing in the 80s, a lot of drugs flowing, a lot of everything flowing. So I could see that for the 70s and 80s, especially, you know, the time frame.
So now it
People
makes
just
sense.
aren't getting married.
Oh, okay.
So if you're not as many people getting
Married, then I guess there's not as many people getting
Exactly.
divorced. That makes sense.
Because to me, that would be the comparison to that story. How many people were getting married at that time frame compared to now? You don't, I mean, especially in our society.
Right.
It's just when people get married, you're just so happy. Because
I don't know about that.
You were happy when you got married.
I was happy when I got married, yeah.
And you were happy when you had that divorce party.
I don't know about all that one, but yeah. Well, people not getting married as much. I don't think. People shacking up.
Yeah. And people just being single. I just been single for 20 years.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been single so long I forgot what it was like not to be single.
I know. Oh, well, okay. That just almost took me somewhere else. Like we was really at home on my couch. I was getting ready to go there, y'all. But a gentleman asked me, an older gentleman asked me, well, do you want to get married again? And that question had me dumbfounded because I guess I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, and I've been single for 9 years now.
Okay.
And I hadn't even thought, it had never even crossed my mind.
It crosses my mind every other day.
Really? Really?
Because I've never been married.
Because okay, you've never
been married. I've been a single mom, and I'm one of those people who, you know, my son doesn't really meet people, so I've been so focused on
your son,
making sure, and work, and making sure I become something, and as the man said, be about something.
Right.
And, you know, I haven't, and now that I'm 33.
She's crazy.
I'm really like, okay, it's time for me to plant roots and
settle down.
And but it's the complete opposite. You have in your age range or in the age range you're dating.
Right.
1 second. You have people asking you about marriage. When I say something about marriage, I have people running away.
Thank you for calling. You are on the couch with Kimberly.
Good evening, Kim. How you doing this show?
Hi, Shaw. I'm doing great.
All right. Real nice show. Just checking y'all out.
Thank you.
All right. You have a nice day.
Oh, you do the same. Hey, let me ask you a question. Okay.
Yeah, come on with it.
All right. What do you think about marriage these days? Like, what is the trend or the mindset of men as far as marriage these days? If you met a nice woman, would you want to get married?
I want to marry you.
There you go, Kimberly. Well, I'll help plan this wedding. We'll have her in a nice dress.
Might well take this opportunity to make a proposal now on TV.
Well, thank you.
And it'll make more sense as soon as you accept my Facebook friend request.
Kimberly, how are you not going to be friends with your husband?
Oh my goodness, Shaw. Well, you send me a request, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
All right, thank you so much.
I already said it. It's been pending.
I'm gonna make sure she accept that today. Y'all gonna be friends as of tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and change the status to engaged.
You don't know her, brother. All right, y'all have a nice day.
Thank you, Shaw. Have a good one.
I'm trying to put an end to them 9 years.
All right, I hear you, boo.
All
right, bye-bye. He didn't just totally threw me.
See, Kimberly's engaged. That's her second marriage. Shaw, you don't want to marry her. It's not going to work out.
It's the second marriage.
You got to wait for the third one. We don't have data about that one.
Lord have mercy. That's funny, though. All right, so I told you the older gentleman was asking me about would I like to get married, like, and I just didn't know what to say. I guess I hadn't thought that far into it. Probably because, like you, I was so focused after I separated from my husband and divorced or whatever. I was so focused on raising my sons, and that was all that mattered, was me being able to provide for them.
Exactly.
You know, put them in a safe neighborhood and raise them right.
And not bringing men around.
And not bringing men around because I wasn't bringing nobody home. They wasn't going to be calling no strange person daddy.
Exactly.
Because they had a daddy and have a daddy, matter of fact.
It's so amazing to me because I have a cousin who's in your age range, and she was with someone for about 10 years and they separated. And when she met the person she's with now, she said that he did like your friend. He kind of was like, you know, when he met her was, I want to be in a relationship. What is your aspirations? What is, you know, what are you planning on doing basically? Because I don't want to waste my time.
Right.
I love that because in my age group,
they don't do that.
Girl, when I say, look, you know, I want to date, I want to settle down, they're like, okay, thank you.
Next, and they moving on. Moving on. Okay, I'm not sure if we're going to have time to take this call, but let's see if we can make it quick. You are on the couch with Kimberly. We have to make it quick because we're about to be off the air.
Okay, quick comment. I just wanted to say to Miss in the pink sweater that she's a very beautiful lady. I understand why she's single.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, thank you a lot.
Thank you.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. See, you might need to move up out of your age range, boo. Because they out there, ain't they?
60 and older. Never mind.
He ain't saying like he was 60.
And that's what I told him. He was younger. He was 60 going on 50.
I don't know if he was in the 30s, but
he was 60 going on 50.
That's what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are about to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us. We've loved talking to you. And
this is our last show, so we have to say goodbye until next season.
Until next season. Thank you so much for watching us and tuning in.
Yeah, this was a great show.
Good show.